Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Am I the only one that have realized that the government of Kenya or Kenya Kwanza politicians that were attacking Kinoti have toned down? Is it a mission that has failed, or it was a crafty plan to provide an opportunity for some other transactions to be done? There is petition and there is a case of the 8 officers from the disbanded Special Services Unit of the DCI that have written to DPP through their lawyer Danstan Omari on why they have not been taken for DNA testing, even though it was ordered for that to be conducted. I want to agree with a section of Kenyans that believe there are rational decisions that were made but not well thought out. And while we made them just to wipe the emotions of the population, but then it means we had our own intentions. When I want to play for you a clip when President Ruto ordered the disbandment of SSU, and himself, he took that responsibility, telling the people, and I remember it was during a prayer rally in Kericho. You need to listen to it.
Tumevunja ile ilikuwa inaitwa special sijui nini ya police ambayo ilikuwa inaua wa Kenya kiholela. That is the history we want to forget. Let our competitors not remind us of the many things they did. We have also a plan on how to secure this country so that we avoid the shame of Kenyans.
According to the president, he actually went in front of the Kenyan people in full gear with the cameras that the SS unit was responsible for disappearances and the illicit violation of human rights, gross human rights during Uhuru Kenyatta's regime. He actually took it. And so he said that he's trying to dismantle these units. But later on, things seems to have changed. Hold it there. The 8 who were detained for 21 days pending investigation by Gachagua court on November 10th claim there is mischief as the investigators from the Internal Affairs Unit may disobey a court order. This is according to an article that was written by the Standard, The Nation. Danstan Omari, their lawyer, and Omayo Aranga claim even after being in custody since early this month, no investigations has commenced to establish who abducted the 2 Indians and a Kenyan whose bodies were found at the Aberdare mountain. Okay. They are saying that they are in custody, but they have also understood that there seems to be no investigation going on. I was following this story, and I remember at one point these officers that were through their lawyer Danstan Omari were actually saying they were made an allegation that they were being forced to implicate their boss in those disappearances. And so, to that effect, of course, Kinoti, I personally believe it was not maybe, but he was reshuffled from that unit and then just taken back to the Public Service Unit, to the Public Service Commission. But there seems to be something. Rigathi Gachagua had a problem with Kinoti. And Rigathi's problem with Kinoti was that maybe he presided over and he agreed, or rather he was used by the then deep state to trump up charges against him so that he could be arrested. And so he had very strong venom against Kinoti. But at the same time, President Uhuru Kenyatta President William Ruto was also pursuing who abducted the two Indians that were election officials. Now, in the middle of this, yes, Kinoti was relieved of his duties as DCI. We got a new DCI. But then, also, things have happened about Rigathi Gachagua. I want to pull this clip. We got it some time back, and we didn't pay attention to it. I want you to listen to Macarena. He's a very vocal MCA from the Meru area, and was speaking in an event that was attended by Rigathi Gachagua. And that event, he came out to defend Rigathi and telling Rigathi that it was a good gesture to forgive Kinoti. That's the gist of this analysis. Listen to Macarena.
Kweli Mungu ni maajabu. Tuko na Sabina Chege katikati ya miti. Lakini ile naweza sema leo hii, watu wengi wanasemanga Lindo Manjarete uko hapa. Mimi ile naweza sema, naweza waambia asante kwa kitu moja tu, kusamea mtoto wetu Kinoti akakuwa free, anaweza kunywa maji kwa serikali yenu. Asante Honorable the President, kusamea Kinoti. Sasa inaweza kupanguzia kiatu. Nimefurahi sana.
He's openly saying there that Gachagua forgave Kinoti. In fact, I can tell you that that speech there was well planned, it was well crafted, and there is something that he wanted to communicate. And I can tell you that Rigathi Gachagua toned down on the attacks on Kinoti. So I want to tell you why the deep state, William Ruto's deep state, decided to leave that conversation about Kinoti because it was no longer tenable. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and kindly also share our video. And I want to say a big thank you to those who support from different parts of the world. Asanteni sana. As you watch World Cup, I also want to join the voices that are saying, please don't gamble. Don't gamble your house. Don't gamble your car. Don't bank. Don't gamble. Let's just enjoy football for the sake of fun. They support Senegal. Now, let me tell you, this is what was happening. This was a well elaborate strategy that was laid down. You need to attack Kinoti, suppress Kinoti. With Kinoti suppression going on, it was easier to then get the ground to drop cases. It's not a coincidence that immediately Kinoti left, we attacked. There was an attack against Kinoti, of which even DPP was somewhere doing some interviews about Kinoti here and there. Then after that, Kinoti sublimed. It was no longer in public. By the way, he never responded. And after those suppression attacks, we've seen cases getting dropped. That was the strategy. And it worked. The beneficiary, it's upon you to guess. It worked perfectly. That, create a ground that this person was maliciously against people here and there. It was successfully done. So that's why no one is no longer talking about Kinoti. I remember some analysts saying that, I think that was Mutahi Ngugi, saying that going after Kinoti will destroy Kenya Kwanza government. It's going to destroy them. And when immediately that came out, we had started hearing the stories of then insecurity, the surge insecurity in the different cities, or other stories about ghosts amongst the people in uniform. And there was a lot of conversation about what was happening. So something happened that people forgot that that was a man that was also having control, having a bit of a power. Now, I speculate President Uhuru Kenyatta marshaled Meru leaders to defend Kinoti. And because they knew that would hurt Gachagua's plan to bring unity. While Macarena was speaking, and when he was given that opportunity to talk there and to make that, is because Gachagua is now looking for Mount Kenya unity. And one of the areas he wants to reach out to is Meru. So President Uhuru Kenyatta might have marshaled the Meru leaders to speak and defend Kinoti on the ground that he is being targeted and is from the other side of Meru. Remember, at Uhuru Kenyatta's government, Uhuru really tried to create the balance between Meru East and Meru West. And Kinoti was one of the factors for Meru East, and even the Chief Justice, Martha Koome. Now they even have Japhet Koome. So that conversation of Meru East, Meru West saved Kinoti. And that's why Gachagua will not, and even William Ruto will not go so hardcore on him on that ground, because it was successfully going to be used to create the divide. I think the advice by Natembea was picked by William Ruto. William Ruto listened to Natembea because Natembea was a former Rift Valley Regional Commander, said that even after disbanding the SSU, you'll have to form your own SSU. And true to his word, 2 weeks later, we are now forming another SSU. I'm one person who, if you ask me my position on the SSU, I think things don't. It's not just these units are not just formed without a purpose. And it's good to, even in a team, you must have a team. Specialization is very important, so that if there's one that is fighting corruption or fighting something, for me, I really support specialization. But the president sat down with the security chiefs, and they might have told him that, look here, we must have SSU. We must have another unit to deal with some issues like crime or other aspects in the society that were affecting Kenyans. So because that was supposed to be done, and that was coming, it was no longer tenable to continue talking about Kinoti forming SSU. Because at the end of the day, you're also going to form your own SSU. Last, I think officers declining to implicate their boss might have collapsed the whole thing. Because the strategy was simple, that if the officers were willing and to implicate Kinoti, then that's how Kinoti will find himself in trouble. But then I think due to their oath, and of course they have looked at the way the case is going, or rather whether they can be implicated in the so-said disappearances, the cases are not that watertight according to what the papers are writing. And so that's why maybe I can look at it, speculate that they had just to leave the conversation about Kinoti. I don't know what your take, but also tell us why Kinoti had just to, the conversation about Kinoti had to end. It has to end. The cases have been dropped. Some people in government want wealth and immunity. That's the biggest interest. We've always said that it's not about the hustlers. It's not about Mama Boga. It's not about the hustler fund. That is the conversation. That is for packaging. That is for political packaging. But the real thing in the boardroom is the interest, immunity, and here. So when that is got, when you get what you want, why do you continue making noise? Just leave the conversation to come to an end. That's my take, please.